Hello and welcome to my first blog. I'm actually on the last leg of my honeymoon, but we had this idea to start doing some video blogs instead of writing, since I don't do much writing these days. And what better place to start considering where we are at the moment, which is at the Bosnian pyramids again, and we're actually in the Ravne Park 2. So you can see some of the different stones behind me. I'm actually standing on one of the event platforms at the moment. And I thought, seeing as there were so many questions about the Bosnian pyramids during my sessions, that why not do some videos about some of the things that I talked about in my blog article. So I won't repeat myself and all the things that I wrote on that article, so if you want more information, then please do go and read that on my blog. So yes, I will be videoing inside the tunnels, which are just up the hill in this direction, and also doing some videos about some of the different structures around here and all the different interesting implications that they can have on our vibration and our health. So I hope you enjoy this, and I will speak to you soon. Okay, so this is the part of the park which is apparently the most energy potent. So these are stone circles arranged at a distance of, according to the golden ratio, 1.618 distance between them. And supposedly just by walking around these circles, well, in fact not supposedly, they've tested this, but walking in a circle around these stones, your aura will actually increase in vibration. So it'll actually raise the vibration of your aura just by walking around the circles. The reason why it's the most energy potent place in the park here is because of the water currents that come underneath this area here. And underneath each stone is a crystal. And the most energized part of this circle is the center, of course. And they've measured the center of this to be 50 bovis. So if anyone knows the bovis scale, it's a measure of life force. So 50 bovis is pretty potent. And yes, and if you want, we can walk around. Walk around the circle together. And maybe the more energy sensitive of you will get a sense of the vibration changing as this video recording progresses. So you can see some of the other platforms and stone circles in this park as I do this. Let's just go into the next ring now. Okay. And then we'll go into the centre. Maybe it'll be interesting to see whether any of you can sense any differing vibrations here. Let's just walk around the centre as well. Okay, so this is the central stone here. Can't see very clearly here because it's very sunny today. Okay, so hopefully that's interesting for some of you. So this is another area of the park. This is one of the many wooden areas which is used for events and meditations. And this particular place here is called Meditation Square. And within Meditation Square there's this three-sided pyramid. So for those of you who've been reading my blog, I've put instructions about how to create a three-sided pyramid that you can put over buildings with your mind, so that you can cleanse the energy. So a three-sided pyramid is another way of creating higher vibrations and cleansing. So there's different meanings to the square base and the circle, which I will put up as a picture at the end of this video. And for those of you who are interested in constructing something similar and experimenting for yourself, I'll just carry on videoing, because there are some different things going on inside this pyramid. So you can see a big metal ring at the top here, connected to a rod, and then two other circles either side. Okay, and then I'll just put the information for you at the end, for those of you who are interested in constructing such a pyramid. So this is another one of the stone circles within the Ravne Park. And the idea is that you walk up this stony path here on the right, up to the sign and read all about it. And then you set an intention of whatever you would like to change in your life, whatever you would like to let go, what doesn't serve you. And then you follow the stone path around and you walk anti-clockwise through the darkened areas until you get to the centre, releasing whatever you don't wish. And then you start walking clockwise along the lighter coloured stones, setting the intention you wish to generate for the future. A wonderful idea. Okay, so this is the entrance to the tunnels in the Ravne Park. So, okay, now the car's gone past and I can talk. This is where we come in. So there's lots of different information about the pyramids here on the walls. And we've just got to grab a helmet now. Okay. So let's find one. There we go. Okay. So as you can see, it's not a well-known place yet, so it's quite easy to come in here without crowds. There's a lot of places in the tunnels here that you have to crouch down. And maybe I should turn off here before my wife talks about her bottom being on film. Okay, so we're only 20 metres into the tunnel network. There's quite a few different directions to go in. And already we're at 25,000 bovis. Bovis is a measurement of life force. So you can see here that a healthy person is considered to be 7,500. There's not many people that are at 7,500, usually 6,000 or below. But as you can see here, already we're at 25,000 bovis. And it doesn't matter how far you go into this tunnel network. I've been in quite a few hundred metres. And the temperature stays at 12.5 degrees Celsius. No poisonous gases anywhere, and it stays at 20.4% oxygen and 85% humidity, and that's all the way throughout the tunnel network, no matter how far you go in. So as you'll see, there are many meditation areas throughout this tunnel network that you can sit in, including the healing chamber, as it's called, and many other chambers where you have much higher levels of bovis and much higher levels of negatively charged ions, which are very healing as well. So here we are in the tunnels, about 200 metres in. This stone here, which you can't quite see in its entirety, my partner's holding on to. This is called Megalith K1. So they found it underneath the conglomerate. And it has lots of different runes on, which you can see clearer in the picture here than you can on the actual stone. I'll just see if I can see one. I can see an arrow here. And there's another arrow there. And a few other symbols, which are a bit harder to see. And there's a few around here. Quite a few different markings that you can see on this stone. So when they radiocarbon dated a piece of wood in the tunnels and tested the soil and the stone, they say that like it says in this picture, that the conglomerate, which is the shale-like substance here, started forming over 32,000 years ago. And they say that tunnel builders built the complex over 12,000 years ago. And a civilization, maybe the same, maybe different, closed the tunnels and filled in the material over 4.6 thousand years ago. So yes, a very interesting structure. And when we were here last year, they said that it's like a stone, but it's almost like it's been moulded rather than formed naturally. And that within the stone there's different types of stone and crystals possibly, which mean that the stone directs energy in different ways. And when they've analysed the water underneath the stone, they discovered that there are water channels, and with these water channels they say that this stone and the water channels quite possibly keep the vibration of the tunnels quite high, as well as the shape of the tunnels themselves. So yes, one of many interesting things in here. Okay, so this is the meditation chamber area. And that's my wife Osa going in to sit down and meditate. So in this area here, the reason why they called it the meditation chamber is because when they were doing lots of scientific experiments and did measurements, they found that this had the highest Bovis level. It's a bit dark in here, but hopefully you can see here on the chart that it has a Bovis of 40. And like I probably have said earlier, the Schumann resonance frequency is constant throughout the chambers, so 7.83 Hertz frequency. You can feel that has been measured everywhere in the tunnels here. And to give you an idea, 40 Bovis is pretty high. 40,000, my wife is saying now. So a healthy person is supposedly at 7,500 Bovis. And they've measured at Tibetan temples 14,000 Bovis. So a measurement of 40,000 Bovis is pretty high. Like I said earlier, there's a constant oxygen concentration of 20.4%, despite going anywhere in the tunnels. Despite going very deep into the tunnels, the oxygen concentration is constant, and absolutely zero toxins being detected in the air. So there we go. It's quite dark in here. And the water here is very interesting too. So you can probably see a bit of the water at the back of this part of the cave here. And there's water that flows underneath many of these caves that they've detected under the ground, and it's drinkable and has healing properties, so they actually sell the water at the store just outside. Okay, so we're just going to sit down and meditate ourselves now and enjoy the energies and speak to you later. Okay, and for those of you who like Dr. Masaru Emoto and his work with crystals, you can see here at the top some of the water crystals formed from the water from here underneath the tunnels, and you can compare that from the water from the local city, which is much more deformed shaped crystals when it's frozen. So yes,